So, after finally descending down into the lowest levels of this pocket dimension haunted ship with weird, distorted laws of physics, you saw an magically undulating, almost cloud, but much more tangible, thicker. Just rolls and cycles, and all of you can feel it on your magical senses, whether you're a magical character or not. Margot's predilections for power are severely pulled here, and she goes forward trying to take this power. The team tries to stop her. She pulls a clever move and rolls well on her Eldritch Blast to knock out the floor beneath you, dropping you all down, dropping three of you down to the lowest level, Dro kicking Dyer out of the way so he doesn't fall. Margot's vines from her body begin to lash out and try to lap up this magical energy, even despite the warnings of this shadowy, mummy-like creature that appeared. And Dro and Yaslin fall with her. Dro, being suffused with this corruption magic, spawns a third eye in the middle of his head, glowing a bright pinkish orange. Yaslin's internal world is similarly distressed as a chitinous exoskeleton with large mandibles and insectoid face plunges through the chest of her chimera, creating a fifth personality in her inner world that she is bonded with. And Margot's pushing strong to get past the defensive attempts of this ghostly shadow figure and to reach further into this unbridled magic in front of you. So, and that's all in addition to the vampiric mists that you had encountered before and the ash that was littered around the ship from discovered corpses of vampirates. A pulse of corruption energy goes out, animates that, and swirls and builds it into an ashen snake with a glowing red mouth. And so we are at the top of initiative. And it's Dyer's go first, which is not great to have your bard first. So, Dyer's going to look down, look back, look down. Fuck. Grab his staff and shakily approach the snake. And he, like pretty much everybody else, is pretty rough at the moment. As far as like spell slots and energy levels and whatnot. Let me see. Gotta check. Make sure I'm seeing the same spells in both locations. Oh, he's doing okay, actually. He's going to move over here knowing that Seamus is somewhere and that Tierman is nearby, who is a easier target And he's going to point out his hand and snap, getting the snake's attention, and cast Shatter on him. Okay, so then as the snake, I got to do a Constitution saving throw. And that is a 5. So a very large crack ripples out underneath the water, sounding a little bit like a depth charge. And the snake slams over into the side of the barrier and like looks back directly at Dyer. He kind of steps back with his staff, ready to go. He's like, all right, how about you? And all that, great. He's going to use his bonus action to cast Bardic Inspiration on Tierman. And that'll be his turn. And that is 14 damage to the snake. Okay. The snake is going to take notice of Dyer. Happens to be all my characters all at once. Sorry, guys. And it's going to dash forward, moving very rapidly. And it's going to try to constrict on Dyer. And, oh no, all my dice are gone. I taught my kids some D&D this week, and they were very excited. So my dice are not in my room. Okay, so that'll be an 8 to hit. So, tries to run up and like wrap around it, and Dyer, holding his staff, is able to kind of like plant it into the ground, prop it up, and like wiggle out and like back up, not getting wrapped up by the snake. But it does also have a bite attack, and it's going to go for that next. And that is a 12. Okay. Again, Dyer comes, it snaps over Dyer's head, and he just ducks very definitely. He's like, haha, so far so good. Let's keep that up. And that'll be his turn. Okay, Tierman is going to sit in the back and hide and kind of panic behind her wall. And she is like, you can hear the sounds of like little things are happening behind the wall as she sits back there. Dro, you are up. You have a new eye. You're holding your head. Your hands come away bloodied. You know it's there. You can see through it as another port of perception. And it's disorienting. Like putting on a new pair of glasses for the first time. Like your brain literally has to take time to adjust, and you're not there yet. What are your thoughts in this moment?
What the fuck?
Yep, basically.
Oh. Probably, goddammit, Margot is one.
Can we all get t-shirts to say, God damn it, Margot?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I scan this so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the tentacles from Margot, I would imagine visibly Yaslin's at least uncomfortable than hearing like a boom above us. Fucking hell.
I know we're it's hot, aren't we?
Yep. Dro, any thoughts about the eye itself?
I think it is something on there, but Dro being Dro, seeing the predicament he's in, Margot is not in control. Yaslin's in pain and he can't see the rest of the group and just hears an explosion. I think he would put his issues further back in his mind. I think he's done most of his life. And what is Margot doing right now?
Margot is encased inside of like the dome of this ghostly shadow figure's body. You see kind of a swirling vortex of what looks like blackened shadow wraps just swirling around her. And give me a perception check, Dro.
Team.
Okay, 19. 18. Excuse me. As you kind of look around, part of your vision is still getting used to whatever just happened. And there are additional colors kind of in this like watery atmosphere. Immediately in front of you is this black kind of aura pulling off of the shadow creature. There's a strange orange and purple, almost like a amalgamation. It's kind of like oil and water. The colors kind of slip and slide in and out of each other inside the shadow dome. You see red pouring off of Yaslin. You look up. You see orange and pink and black as well. You can give me an insight check. You don't know what it is or how to interpret this, but you can feel them. It's somewhere very far back in your mind. Almost like somebody shouted down a hallway and all you got was the echo of it. Info, Drew.
You said Margot's enclosed in the shadow.
Yes.
Joe's gonna reach his hand in and try to grab Margot.
Okay.
Let me rephrase. He's going to reach in and grab Margot, not pull, but try to get her attention. Try to snap her out of whatever's going on.
Okay. Just trying to grip at her?
Yeah.
Okay. Roll me a Constitution save as you push through thrashing shadow and vine, trying to move in something about this new thing that you're kind of seeing. You can kind of like predict the pattern of what's going to happen. There's a safe space for you to put your hand through. And the shadows part and the vines lash on either side, but they do not touch you. And you reach down, because Margot's still prone. You reach down and grab her on the leg. And give her a strong squeeze?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
It's nice to
Yes.
know what Yaslin's about to do.
Yaslin. What you doing?
She's you know, everything is just very chaotic for her right now, and as much as like she wants to like just like hit the pause on everything that's happening outside to check on what's going on inside of her right now, she's like very keenly aware this is not a good spot to do a whole self checkup on herself. But she's also like very confused with what's happening externally, except that they're down a level and not good things are happening. And she's kind of maybe slightly blaming Margot for all of this at the moment. And the best way to convey her frustrations, she definitely just full on headbutts Margot in the head. She just, yeah.
Okay.
She's like, damn it, Margot.
Alright, you are still on top of her.
Yeah.
And your inner world is going sideways very fast.
Oh yeah. She has like nothing to hold on to, and the fight or flight in her is like, she's a very fight person, but she has no idea what she's supposed to be fighting right now, so it's just like closest thing to her.
Okay, go for an unarmed strike on Margot.
Let me see if I can find it. I think it's just, what would that be? Because I don't have it actually. Ah, I found it. Of course, she's just gonna do this as recklessly as she can.
Woo! Good thing for that reckless. Okay. 17. That'll break through Margot's armor class. She is not.
Could I have used Restore Balance to cancel out that second dice to make it a natural one?
Ooh.
Where did we leave off on how conscious you were right now?
Itchy? Because
I was still
you were in your inner world.
conscious. Yeah, I don't think I was. I think I was the most conscious of the three of us down there.
At the moment, I thought she was.
I
but
think
she-
that's.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you can.
I just whack my head into the floor.
Okay.
Sorry.
Margot, you feel
No, it's okay.
you feel the twines of fate as you do normally. You just pull it to the side slightly. And as Yaslin's still kind of shaken from whatever's happening with her, you don't know what's going on. You can see that she got zonked pretty hard too. And as she kind of like gets to it a little bit groggy, rears up, you use that moment to shift your hips and roll her, and the momentum pulls her off, and she rolls over to the side, 5 feet away from you, no longer straddling you. You are no longer grappled. Except you look down, and Dro is grabbing your leg through this kind of sphere of shadow and whip. He's not holding on to you. He's just, well, he's He's touching you, but he's not grappling you.
Okay, that was my first action.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm now somewhere else, but I think the pain of hitting my head against something, even if it probably wasn't Margot,
Mhm.
brings a little bit of clarity to her. So now that she's like, okay, obviously that fucking hurt, she's going to try to look around for a second to figure out what the heck they've gotten themselves into.
Okay.
So what does she see? Margot on the ground, Dro on the ground.
So that would have been an attack for your action. So you
Yeah.
have a multi-attack, so you have a second attack action if you want, but you don't have a take your turn to make a full observation.
Yeah, just like it's
you
a
can do
general scan though,
like a quick check. Okay, give me a perception.
Yeah.
The DC is a lot higher since it's just quick.
yeah.
Hey, that's not for you, puppies.
16.
16. You're on the lower level. You see like this broken chasm of a ship. You kind of see vaguely onto the other side. And kind of you can see beneath the ship, and it's just void.
Ooh. Okay, so
You don't know how far off it is. And like down below, you see more storage, more cargo, but everything here is a little bit warped. Some of the boards kind of spiral into like a 360 and pull away from the rest of the hull of the ship. Some of the bags that maybe had beans or sprouts or some sort of seed inside of them, and they've sprouted through, and like all the sprouts have like balled up into a single organism about a foot off the bag. You see nails inside of wooden posts that have like pulled away slightly from the post that they were in. They have little legs that kind of consistently just make a little scratchy bit as they're like trying to pull away from where they're anchored. This bottom deck is suffused with corruption and oddities. It's like looking into a magic shop of horrors.
interesting, lovely. I think she's gonna stand up. She's gonna essentially be like, we all need to get off this deck. She's gonna bonus action shift, and that will be her turn.
Okay. Got the special eyes. Where are the special eyes now? There we go. I'll just give you this one for a bit. Okay.
She's
Margot, you are up.
and shift.
Okay. Jesus, Doc. How am I doing?
And I guess she has 8 temp HP.
How am I doing? Like, do I feel any different? I still have the shadow on top of me, but
You still have the shadow on top of you. Your body feels wild. Like portions of your cells, your anatomy, are twitching for the chance to change. There is very eager energy about your own biology, about your parasite, and it's... Roll me a wisdom saving throw to see how much is this affecting your own mind at this point.
let's check There it is. Same with this. 18.
You can feel the pull. It's a little bit like being an overly intelligent person and actually getting drunk. Your thought processes are still present, even though there's distracting sensory data. Not everything is functioning as you would normally feel like. But the cold, calculated purpose of Margot is ever strong. Get up.
One spell slot left.
What was that?
I said one spell slot left. I'm trying to think of how to best use it. So I have the big guy. He's on top of me. He's not like that far away, right?
Yeah, he's essentially
In my space. Yeah.
on top of you, yeah.
Okay.
Just for spacing purposes, I'm gonna bring everybody down a smidge.
And the splinter just said get off or get up?
Get up. We are so very close.
I'll stand up to start, obviously. That's half my movement.
You want results? Quickly. This is how we do that. This sets plans into motion years ahead of schedule. How long will it take you to make the impact and the difference that you want? And more importantly, it's almost like you can feel him emotionally come up behind your ear and speak directly into it. What will it cost to take that long? Feel him just kind of fade into the background, into the hunger that is pushing on your mindset like a dam that wants to overflow.
So if I walk forward, I'm like standing on the edge on the precipice.
Yep,
Here.
just about like that.
I'm gonna move forward.
You'd have to push through the shadow to do so.
Okay. Would that take my action?
Depends on what you do.
I'm stepping towards the edge, and I'm going to... As she reaches one hand out, she's going to take Dro's hand in the other and cast Protection from Good and Evil on Dro as she reaches out.
Okay. In that case, you're not pushing through at all, and you're leaving the combat between your vines in the shadow to your parasite. So go ahead and roll me a Constitution check. Oh, wait a minute. I did this last time. Did I do it as a Constitution check or something else?
Depends on what this is for. For the shadows, Dro rolled a Constitution saving throw.
No, it was the vines trying to get out from the dome that the shadow had created.
Looking back. Yeah, it was a Constitution check. That's the same exact one I rolled last time.
Okay. Why can I not do? Oh, 1 second. He's got a minus
Didn't beat
3
me
because
last time.
he's got a minus 3 because it's not his real form. It's his reduced state inside of you. Okay. Your vines were beating this thing pretty at the beginning of last time as well. And this time, it's more like they just part open and like create a curtain. This little thorn-covered tunnel that you just walk straight out of. And as you do, the shadow shifts and tries to like encompass you, and it becomes this like half-covered dome with you and Dro encased in this little semi-sphere bubble, staring at the edges of the broken ship, the magic in the void below. And you cast Protection of Good and Evil.
Yeah, she reaches out and takes Dro's hand. And I think you see her tattoo glow green, and you see her normal, like, jade green magic flow over you in, like, a shimmering shield. I'm getting really bad echo, sorry. I don't know if it's still there. Yeah, I still hear it. I'm getting really bad echo. I can't really... It's hard to talk with the echo. Thank you. Sorry.
Okay, so I'll mute myself when I'm not talking.
But yeah, you see this green shield come over you, and she's gonna stay holding onto your hand as she, like, leans forward with her other hand reaching out.
And Dro, you feel this protective energy fall over you. Margot, what is... Dro, do you say anything as this is happening?
I think you would see the look on his face that went from determination to pleading, and you would just, if you could hear, you would just say, "Not this way." And he's just gonna death grip on your hand.
She's, like, shaking, and you can probably see a little bit of sweat, like somebody, like an addict who's about to get their fix again, who is in withdrawals. She is hungry.
Next up is the Shadow's turn. And at first you hear more pleading from it, but in this kind of vortex style form that it has, when it says a word, there's a slight delay between all of the different mouths that are appearing as it like repeats its body over and over and over. And you hear, no, 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 no. It cannot be touched, man. And that sound begins to build. I need everybody who is within 30 feet of this thing, which I believe is everybody. Yep. That's everybody, even accounting for height difference.
Oh gosh.
To make a wisdom saving throw.
Woo.
And that also includes my snake.
Does Margot's
That's not
protect against good and evil do anything for this?
Bro, you don't have to make the save.
Wonder what Yaslin's already like existential crisis.
God,
Oh,
we rolled
gosh.
like shit.
Yeah,
Holy
like,
cow.
we rolled so
Yeah.
Oh
bad.
my god!
Let's all
I'm
just
gonna-
suck really bad.
Not
at
a
wisdom
single one
saving
above
throws.
10.
I'm gonna use my inspiration. I don't know if anybody else is.
I'm gonna use my inspiration.
It's like, right, you have an inspiration.
That's better.
Oh, it was almost a 2. Okay. Margot, Dyer, Seamus, you guys are fine. I think.
Oh, Yaslin's not doing good.
You guys are fine.
That was within an hour, by the way, for whoever had that
Yeah,
time
I
shot
was
on their
just
big.
thinking that. It was
yeah,
within
I
an
said
hour,
half
not
hour,
30
I
minutes.
lost my half of the bet. Damn.
I won. I won.
That's great.
And Tierman, no joy. Okay. Oh, come on.
Holy crap.
Hey, anybody who failed takes 12 psychic damage and you are stunned. As this
Whoa.
wild cacophony of sounds starts to reverberate all off the walls. And you take 12 points of psychic damage. Everybody else takes 6.
And I take 3
Dro,
because I'm resistant to psychic damage.
yep, and Dro, you take no stun, you take no psychic damage either. So really that's 12 points against Tierman. And she's stunned, wherever that. Now let's figure out what stunned looks like these days. There we go. Yaslin is also stunned,
And I took the damage off.
and you took the damage, and my snake is stunned and took damage too.
I love
Yep.
that little picture.
Like,
God.
ugh.
Yeah.
The rest of you, the sounds begin to fade. Oh, okay. Okay. Margot, as the sounds begin to fade, you and Dro hear them come back into a solidified form instead of the one voice. This is too much. You would not, if you knew what it was. Seamus, you are up, sir.
Seeing this snake stunned here next to me, I'm gonna go ahead and try to attack it.
All right.
I'm gonna, I'll pull out my rapier and I'm gonna try to stab it with a necrotic blade attack. I think I have advantage because it's stunned.
Yep, that's correct.
Sorry, just trying to figure out where to do this from. That's I guess
Any
that
critical
hits.
hit? Absolutely.
Oh Jesus, that's
3 points.
I guess so.
Is that in addition to your stabby damage?
I don't know. I think that's it. I think the rapier is 1d8. The rapier is 1d8 plus 2 normally. So and then the necrotic blade is another 1d8. So yeah, that's right. 2d8 plus 2 should have been what it is. And then if it moves, it'll take additional damage. I also am no longer invisible, so my invisible.
There we go.
And then I'm going to bonus action disengage.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm going to move towards
It
the
is
stairs.
stunned, so you don't need to. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's stunned, so it's incapacitated, which means it cannot take reactions. So you can if you feel like it, but it's not going to go for you. As that sound came in, it's like thrashing its head back and forth, like slamming it into the wall behind where Tierman is.
I won't use my bonus action for that. I will bonus action hide as I get close to the stairs here.
Sounds good. All right.
I'll use my. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
Sorry, right there, and I'll bonus action hide.
Cool. Dyer's going to.
Ugh. Very good.
The disgust that came with your own dice rolls. Palpable. Okay, Dyer's going to roll on up and go for new what is this? Okay. New character sheet. Who dis? Still learning a lot of stuff from here. Okay. I don't like that I can't see what's the damage on the weapons on this new sheet. Because that would play a difference in what he does. Oh. Wait, really? Huh. Okay, he's gonna take his staff and come down and smack it, and I'm just gonna roll for my longsword instead. Oh no, there we go. I can make an attack with this thing. Okay, weird. And this will be at advantage. That'll be 21 to hit, and he's using it in two hands, so that'll be versatile damage. So that's versatile and the staff. Okay, delete that. Is it the same? Sorry. Oh yeah, can't use the longsword. Okay, that's 7. Sorry, guys. That's 4 points of damage from the staff, and he's going to use his. Actually, no, he's not going to. He's not going to use his Hungry Jaws because he's still got temp HP from the last time. So instead, he's going to. He's going to look down at what's happening underneath. He's going to give Bardic Inspiration to Yaslin as his bonus action.
Surprise?
Guess so? Okay, Ash Snake is stunned. Until the end of its next turn. Okay, it is no longer stunned now. Tierman, also stunned. Also no longer stunned. Dro, you are up.
I have nothing. Okay. Dro's going to step in front of Margot and completely wrap her in a bear hug, ensuring that he pushes her head into his chest so she can't see the magic and starts to make his way towards Yaslin with Margot.
Yaslin, or Margot, are you willing?
Is that a
I'm
question?
going to try to be willing.
Okay, roll a wisdom saving throw. Or, no, charisma save.
Oh, I'm good at that.
Yeah, I was like, you're good at these.
Natural 20! Holy shit!
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
Holy shit.
The digital dice, even.
The dice love
I
you.
know, right? Not gonna go well for me later, but
That's okay.
Margot, you hear a gentle, not this way.
I think the
Where does your mind go?
I think because she saw Dro was like very upset and obviously pleading, and then that's why she took his hand to like have him as her anchor, and then he pulled her into this hug and he's walking her towards Yaslin. So I think she's just going to try to focus on what's real around her. So she's just gonna try to squeeze him back in a hug and focus on what's going on outside rather than what's going on inside.
Okay.
And as he's holding her, she's gonna think of her big brother. Try and ground herself in that moment.
If I can, as Dro's walking Margot back to Yaslin, I think at one point when he gets close enough to Yaslin, he grabs Yaslin's hand, other hand behind Margot's head, and pulls Yaslin's hand to Margot, so there's someone else touching her.
Yeah, a little stunned at the moment.
I know, that's why he's taking the chance now.
I was pretty willingly. You just think she's somewhere else.
The idea is kind of what Margot said, is tell her she's not alone. Trying to bring Margot back. and not whatever this creature is trying to get this power.
Okay. Margot, you have the clarity to travel with Dro, and you are embraced in this hug. And you can feel him inside of you. Unwilling. And you can feel him pressing on your mind, but at the moment you have clarity. What you don't have control over at the moment are the vines. Margot, I need you to make a strength saving throw. And it can be assisted because Dro, or you can have advantage on it because Dro is holding you.
I have a -1 in strength.
It's okay.
Same.
It's okay. You can do this. You can do this.
And just for the narrative here, I'm going to skip the rest of Dro's.
Oh my god!
Whoa!
Some things are just meant to be.
Holy shit!
Okay.
The redemption arc is coming, and it's coming fast.
I usually roll like shit, guys.
Okay. Skipping ahead, it's Margot's turn. Yaslin's turn is done. She's no longer stunned. Dro took his moment. As the two of you embrace, the vines rip out of Margot's body more than you have ever seen in her before, which is not saying a lot. It was like one time.
Yeah.
And they lash down to the ground like a bunch of tethers and anchors, and they sink their little spines and their thorns into the wood, and they pull Margot towards the edge. The three of you together grab and like begin to pull back, and I'm going to roll to see where he is at. This would be an ability check.
Oh.
That was almost a natural 20.
That was so close.
The three of you pull, and you feel the vines just ripping apart. And as they do, there's this like little burst of like orangish fluid through them, and you see like very quickly little tendrils and like try to lick up some of the magical energy before they get pulled back. You proceed 5 feet backwards this time around. We'll see where you guys end up next time. Or actually, I'm going to put him back and... Sorry, shuffling. I'm going to put Dro over here. And shadow creatures over here.
It's still my turn, right?
No. Well,
Because I didn't do anything.
that's true. Yeah, so what's your go?
I think she's gonna look up at Joe and just say, I don't know how much longer I can hold it off. And she's going to Eldritch Blast the thing behind her. The big ghosty.
A ghosty? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
go for it. You are at disadvantage because it's a ranged attack at melee.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What the? Bruh.
It hits.
What is with these dice?
The dice said, "Oh, I got you."
Dice said today, sister. 7.
Mhm. 7, okay. 7 more points, and as you blast it, again, it doesn't seem to care. it just moves around to again kind of create this wall in front of you. And nope, no recharge. Okay, I gotta look something up real quick.
So Yaslin and Dro had physical differences. Does Margot?
Her Yaslin's difference is internal. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, because the red
You
was
can't-
just something
you
Dro
can't-
saw with his eyes.
You can't tell she's fucked up yet.
Now Margot's not the only one with special eyes.
I just had to jump down into corrupt
Eye.
magic.
Special eye, singular. Okay, last time I was incorrect. Dro, just protection from good and evil does not mean you did not have to roll for that. Give me a quick wisdom save, and if you fail, I'm not going to make you like stun and recharge, but it could just give you some damage.
I take damage.
So Dro, you would have taken 12 points of psychic. And that's my bad for not reading the full spell. Okay. This time it looks at all three of you, and again, you start to hear whispers coming from different directions. Stop them. Must not touch it. Drop them where they stand. I need the three of you in front of me to roll wisdom saving throws.
Wanna kill Marco? Yeah!
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, am I the only one who succeeded this time? No, no!
Yaslin, you're fine. Margot, Dro, both of you make a melee attack against the other.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, I'm not good at this, but he is.
Yaslin Sentinel is not going up. Like, I'm not hitting either of my allies. This is confusing. What?
What?
Oh my gosh, Marco says I'm not good at melee attacks. Stabs, throw with a dagger.
He punches her, so.
And Dro, sorry, to be specific, it is a melee weapon attack, not an unarmed strike.
It's not good for Margot.
Oh, so it's the
It's the sword.
Yeah, it's the sword. Mm-hmm.
gosh.
It's okay, I just stabbed you in the leg with a dagger.
How?
Yep, go ahead and roll your damage on both of you.
It's so
It-
question, because Dro has her in a hug. You wouldn't be able to use both hands, right?
That's fine. Yeah, like
Okay.
it. You know, you've probably got the sword like around her back, and now it's like up her lat in her back.
Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
That's not the
Ignore that.
thing. I'm gonna delete that one. Okay,
So
Margot,
you
you take 12.
damage.
Dro takes 6.
I'm so glad Yaslin didn't get involved in this. Aren't we?
Yep, you would have. It would have. Oh no. It would have made you attack Margot. It would have ganged up there.
Yeah.
And I forgot to do this part. Oh, and that was your reaction for the both of you, by the way. And you both take 13 points of psychic damage.
Guys, really?
Tab for me, at least.
Halved for Margot.
Really, guys? Now is not the time.
I'm looking. It's starting to look pretty bad.
Yasemin's like, guys, I know you do this from time to time, but stop.
Like, I know I, like, have accidentally hit people, and, like, this is not a trend we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
First you hug each other, then you stab each other? Come on now.
In the back, Margot's just like, aww.
Joe's like,
I just like how it's a little dagger and Joe with the long sword.
Hugging and stabbing
Yeah,
each other.
Margot's like poke, and Joe's like,
well, I'll show you what
Bloody
poke
goal.
is. Yeah.
You see the face of the ghost get right up close and say, I would kill you before I let you take it. Any part of it. Seamus.
Is there something I can catapult?
Oh yeah, you got little nails and stuff. You got random flotsam
Excellent.
little bits and bobs.
Gonna do that.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna catapult bits and bops at the snake.
Sounds good.
You need to make a DC 16 dexterity saving throw.
That'd be a quattro.
Nice work.
+1. Oh, sheesh.
Jesus.
You upcast that?
Yeah, I did upcast it.
Yeehaw. Alright, what kind of things do you blast this thing with?
Yeah, if there's like a pile of nails or something sitting on one of these, I would just shoot them out over at the snake.
Nice. I kind of like the visual of like you kind of like throw them up into the air and they're all in different directions and they all like point in the right way and then launch.
Love that. Yep.
Okay, that's a huge hit. Just bits of fire and like smoke start pouring out of the snake. When the smoke and the ash kind of like fall out of it, it gets swirled up and starts to mix in the watery portions of your surroundings. Okay, that's your go, Seamus.
Yeah, as a free action, I'm gonna just do this to the snake. Just come here.
You absolutely have its attention. Dyer's turn. He's going to once again go for the staff.
did we skip Tyrman's? Oh no, she was stunned.
She was stunned.
Dang it.
And this is just a normal roll, no longer at advantage. That's not gonna be very good. He misses. He like swings his staff down, trying to like pin the tail of it, and that's when it like turns around and starts moving the other way towards Seamus, and he just like hits on the ground. And he is going to. Let me see here. Bonus actions. Nope, that'll be it. He's going to risk. It's looking. Jeez. No. Nope. Okay, he's going to stay here and basically prepare for it to move out of his range to use his reaction as an attack of opportunity. Which is exactly what's going to happen right now. Okay, so that'll hit, and that's versatile. So that'll be 8 points of damage to the snake. As like it runs past, he's just gonna like slap it in the back, and like there's another slice and a gout of flames just bursts out. It is not looking too good, and it's going to
Oh yeah.
drive
another
over here, Seamus.
Oh yeah.
Takes another 4 damage when it moves.
How long does that stay put? Because you attack. Is it like by the end of your turn or the start of its turn or something?
Let me look that up.
Is it essentially green blade?
Yes.
No, Green Flame Blade lets you
Oh.
leap between 5 feet.
Booming Blade.
Just green blade.
Mm-hmm.
It's until the start of your
my
next
next
turn.
turn. So I had another turn, so it didn't happen. Dang it.
Okay, gotcha. Oops.
Oh, it happened.
It's going to rush.
Well, now
over-
we know how many hit points are left.
Yep, just a little bit. Okay. What's it feel like doing?
Retiring upstate on a farm.
Yeah, it's gonna dive forward. Actually, instead of like going directly forward, it drops down into. Oh shoot! Oh crap! This would have made a difference. So as it moves forward, instead of just moving directly towards Seamus, it dives into like a thin layer of ash and burrows into it. You see like a slight bulb in front. It's not damaging the wood, it's more like slipping into the thin layer of ash and moving. And so when Dyer swings for it, it does not connect. And I'm gonna increases his it increases his armor class by 4 as he moves this way in the burrow in the ash. And is going to move over here and is going to come straight out of the ground. And as it does, there's a kind of a blast of ash next to you, Seamus. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Ooh, just shy. As it comes up, DC was 14. It kind of surprises you and get blasted back onto like the pile of rope behind you, and you are knocked prone. And now it's going to use its constrict ability and try to wrap you up. Okay, and I don't have my dice with me and this guy's. Things are a little bit wonky. It did not import properly. That's going to be a 24 to hit.
Looks like I rolled a 24, but that definitely would hit. Yes.
Oh, yep, my bad. I've got you selected. Okay, and that's going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage as it grabs you and starts to crush. Then it's going to use its bite attack on you, and you are grappled and restrained. And so this bite is going to have advantage. And this is a +5. Is a 16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Alright. Okay, and that is going to be. Oh, that's the wrong. Nope, not those. 1d10 +3. And that is 10 points of piercing damage as it's got you kind of grabbed. It comes down, one big fang sinking into your pectoral, one of them like piercing through your bicep as it bites down and pulls back. And that is its turn. Okay. Tierman is up next. And he's going to do something a little tricky. So she's finally not stunned. She stands up and she has a rope in her hand. She throws the rope forward and says, "Snake it!" And the rope snakes forward, kind of grabbing the snake around the center and like latching down on it and pulls tight. And she's using her rope of climbing, and she's going to try to make like a long range stealth or like a yank to like kind of decoil the snake against Seamus. So this is going to be a strength check. No, this is contested athletics. And this is at advantage because of the use of her rope. Oh boy. And the snake is going to go too. This is just normal.
Oh,
Oh, she
enough.
puts it down.
oh my gosh.
Strong little gal.
Yep. This rope that she has, I mean, all of Tierman's stuff is all of her spells, all of her abilities, all of her inventory. It's all just shipbuilding related stuff. This rope can hold 3,000 pounds.
Oh, ho.
And it can like be commanded to like control itself in different ways. So I was like, oh shoot, this could be applicable in combat. So yeah,
I like it.
as like the snake like rears back its head, Seamus is kind of coiled in more of the tail portion as it goes ready and like kind of prepares itself for another strike. The rope wraps around and kind of jerks back, and Seamus is dropped, still near the snake, but no longer restrained or grappled. And then the snake kind of looks back at her. You see the snaky tongue go, like licking its lip at the tiny morsel. She's gonna, oh crap. She's gonna back up and she's gonna like look to like run in the opposite direction. That's not any better. And she's gonna just like panic freeze there, somewhere in the middle of like a big beastie that wants to eat her and magic that she does not want to mess with. All right, Dro, you are up. This thing just forced you to attack your buddy.
Still holding on.
Please, let's go.
What was the last thing it said?
Said it would rather kill all of you than let you leave with any part of it.
Do you have part of it? Was
You do. You have a third eye. I don't know about me. You can't tell with me and Yazlin, but you definitely do.
Dro just pissed off. We're trying to leave. And it's gonna start to like not move, but start to lean his body back away to try to get Margot and Yazlin out and
Yeah,
moving them back.
happily start moving backwards.
Margot, roll a concentration check because Dro slashed you.
Oh yeah. That's not good. That's not good.
Don't you have Warcaster?
It's for your, it's
It's against
protection
spells
against-
and magic.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Is this-
isn't it to advantage to concentrate on your spell?
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know it was considered a spell.
yeah, it's a
Yeah. It's a concentration spell, so this is to
But
maintain that.
but that's only for saves, not checks. It's advantage on saves to maintain concentration on spells,
Did I say
not on
check?
checks. Yes,
I
I've been doing
I
checks.
did mean a save for a concentration check, which is a Constitution save.
I've been doing checks this whole time.
You've been doing
I'm
great.
missing out on.
Margot.
I did a con check the last 2 times.
You're doing great. You're doing amazing. You have advantage.
It's a +2 to a +6. It's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever the first one was, so that's 15, 21. Yeah, you're fine. Oh, okay, I see what's... Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you're still concentrating on protection from good and evil. Dro, you say you're trying to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks at you. You will sense it.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
What are you talking about?
Fuck.
It is untold. This world cannot have it.
Start.
Yaslin, did it come through properly on the mic?
Yeah. Yaslin's brain right now is just like not computing any of this. It's like I don't know. I just want to go home, man. You're saying I can't. That's kind of rude.
Bro's gonna shift Margot to his back towards Yaslin and stand in front of her. I hope what he's talking about is what I'm thinking of. He won't.
Okay, Dro, to move Margot back, would incur an attack of opportunity, unless you just step in front of her.
What? I thought forced movement doesn't provoke.
Yeah, I'll let you use some of your movements to move Margot.
Okay.
So that takes up 20 of your movement. To basically it's basically like you're carrying her.
So it would be Dro's back is now to both of them, but Dro makes sure Yaslin has a hold of Margot.
Yep.
And then he says to Mr. Shadow Boy here, glancing back at Margot and back at him, he won't have it. And Dro's gonna try to step back and push the two girls back with his back still to them.
Okay. Are you essentially using your action to disengage?
Yes.
Okay. Yep, totally fine. So let me see. That'd be 5 feet of movement for you, plus 10 for Margot, 10 for Yaslin. So that's 25 on top of this. So you've used 45 feet of movement just to go here. How much do you have left?
You said I had 45?
Yep.
I have 10. I have 55 in total.
Then okay, you could push one of them one more square if you wanted.
I don't want one of us to not be holding Marco.
Okay.
So,
I don't have to roll any strength saves like last time, right?
That we'll do that on your turn.
Okay.
You're gonna have to roll a lot. Just saying.
because the whole point of us holding on to her is so she has a tether.
Yep.
And can I see Dyer?
So the hole is approximately right here. Dyer is standing up and almost if he took one big step back, he'd fall down.
Okay. And Joe just last second. Little help down here? Hoping someone's near.
Little busy up here, but totally noted.
Just
Okay.
stand
And actually, I think I did. Yaslin was stunned last time, so the turn order's a little messed up. Yes, I am going to use the tree's reaction essentially to react to Dro moving. So, yes, I am gonna Margot make a strength saving throw against the tethers of the vines.
Still with advantage because of Dro.
Still with advantage.
Oh my god!
Another natural 20!
Oh, power of teamwork!
Teamwork makes the dream work.
It really does! Oh my gosh!
Hey, you see the vines again just snapping and trying to like yank forward. Every time it does, there's a little vine that is a little length of the vine that is left behind as its roots and thorns are latched into the porous and uneven surfaces of these planks, and as they do, they kind of wither and die quickly. And as they do, that orange fluid snaps out and a little bit more of those like little fibrous tendrils as they pull back in. Some of them that have drank at least a little bit of this are pulling them back into your body. Now it's Yaslin's turn.
Gosh. So the hole is like literally right here.
Yeah. The
How
hole
high
is
up?
Oops. It's about 10 feet. 10, 12 feet or something.
I want to get them far away from this though, and I don't know if I want to go closer to the edge. Alright, so we're already all holding each other.
Mm-hmm.
If I have...
Doing some like rugby style like pack tactics right now.
Yeah,
Trying to move the
so-
scrum.
Yep.
Yeah, can I... If I'm, like, using my action for movement too, that'd be 80 feet. How far back can we get? Like... It's...
If you're just moving Margot, 40.
Nice! Can I move Joe too? So it'd be, what, 20 then?
Yeah, so it's regular movement for you and then double for Dro and Margot. So each square is, or each hex is a total of 25 feet. So you could move up to 3 feet. Or 3 hexes with
Okay.
with your scrum.
Yeah. I think we're gonna move 3 squares backwards then. And, really just, like... We're gonna pack down, and I'll just make another hole in the ceiling above us, where we are further from the problem. That is the magic.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Gotcha.
solution is make more holes.
We're
somewhere
backing
else.
up from one problem to the
One,
other problem
two.
we don't know of.
Okay, so you guys move back. Okay, so that's your dash. Margot, your turn. I need both a... First of all, I need a Constitution saving throw from you. I didn't do this last turn. I probably should have.
Noise.
Okay.
Fire.
You can feel this magic pulling into you. And like, it's like hot little brands as it just grabs a few magical droplets and pulls them in, desperately trying to feed on anything that it can. But you are strong. Something about all of this, about reaching the literal edge, reaching out to power, undepthed power. endless. Why pull away?
She's going to first use your action to Eldritch Blast the ghost. So no matter what.
Well, real quick, I didn't hear an answer to the question.
Oh, I didn't think that was. I thought that was rhetorical. I'm sorry.
Oh no. So like, yeah, why pull away now of all times?
I think the look on Dro's face, the like pleading and disappointment, kind of killed her a little. She's pulling away for them, not because she wants to.
Okay. So Margot, you are having 3 different battles simultaneously right now. Your own physiology, which you just passed beautifully. Your mind, and your physical surroundings. Roll a charisma saving throw. As you can feel your vagabond within your chest growing more and more wild and desperate as it tries to pull you down.
13?
I rolled a 1.
Oh yeah.
Guys, there's a story being told. It's not the one we.
Oh my god, I love it more though.
Shit. Wow.
Natural 20, natural 21. Margot, you have been saving up your luck for months for this one session.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's been paying off. Oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Holy shit.
yeah.
That's 2 battles. There's still one more.
Still one more. Margot, you, as you're pulling further and further away, you're feeling the effects of the magic become less and less the further you get away from this. And as you do, you're starting to feel a little bit better. And then like mentally and like even visibly, you see that same kind of like orange burning eyes plant like root-like hair going up in a spike, and kind of a blurred, vague form reach up and grab your face. This is what we talked about. This is why you're alive. And it arrests your world.
Huh?
Your mental capacity is fully established, and there's a part of you that fears for a moment. Like that moment of realization of, oh no, I've done it. I've gone too far. And you feel yourself start to swoon and fall deep into losing yourself, like he's overtaking you. You start to feel the effects of the water around you. It's been purely aesthetic so far, but you feel weightless. Like you're dropping into the depths of the pool, whatever lies below this ship. How are you feeling at this moment?
I think she is terrified of her choices and everything that's going on right now. And she doesn't like to be terrified because it makes her feel weak.
And that face inside of yours, the hands gripping the side of you, kind of pinching into your cheeks and your jawbone and the back of your skull, start to pierce. You can feel a little rivulet of blood. And then a bright light. A hand, white, vaguely lavender, grips him by the back of the neck. There's a crunching sound. And he's ripped off and thrown into the darkness. And you see a kind, familiar face. And just looks at you. Been many years since you've seen this face. It feels different, but not because the face is any different, but because you are. You have not gazed upon him since you were much younger. And you look upon your brother for the first time as an adult. What do you do?
She definitely freezes. And if either of them are looking at her, she starts to cry. This has been the connection she's been working so hard to get through that tattoo for years. Xander?
You're still such a crybaby.
I messed up.
So did I.
To get them out. It's my fault that they're here.
You have not gone too far, sister. Way back is long and hard and terrifying. Yet achievable.
Sorry, just ignore that.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, holy shit, what just happened? Don't know if I can do what needs to be done without the power.
He reaches a hand forward and places it on your cheek. And quickly raises it and flicks you in the forehead.
You know,
You have things that I have never had. Don't emulate me. I thought I could do everything on my own. And he kind of looks a little bit up and to the left, and as you follow his gaze, you see your body entwined with Yaslin and Dro. You are very clearly not alone. That is a type of power, too.
enough to stand against the organization.
Time will tell. Maybe, maybe not. But it's a possible change. Because going at it alone did not work for me.
Then I need to get all of us out of here. Can you help me keep the other at bay? So that we can get out of here.
I will do what I can.
Don't leave me, please.
I'm literally bonded to your soul. I can't leave you.
It took you long enough to show up.
Takes a lot out of me. This is not easy. I
Thank you.
figured it was time.
Thank you.
You're stronger than you think, crybaby.
Puta. No. And let's show them how strong we are. And she's going to, if she can, try to cast a cantrip at the ghosty guy.
See your brother's face smile gently, sadly. And he closes his eyes. And that feeling and that scene of being underwater fades out, and time kind of feels like it speeds back up to catch back up to where it should be. Go ahead and roll your attack.
There it is.
The dice are like, and her luck is gone now.
And we're back.
It mattered when it counted. That's all that.
Yeah.
This time he sees it coming and he just like reaches straight out, grabs it, and snuffs the magic out. Kind of letting a little bit of dust crumble to the ground.
And then she's just gonna grab onto, take Yaslin's hand and Joe's hand in each of her hands.
Aww.
Okay.
Yes.
And with that, let's go ahead and take our break there. Okay.
Oh no.
As Margot's luck shifted, all right. So next up is my shadow creature. The insistent conversation continues again. Stop them! Don't let them escape! Don't let her near it! He will sense it. It's safe here. I need Yaslin, Margot, Dro to all make a wisdom saving throw again.
Oh gosh, here we go.
Don't stab me.
We run around. I mean, I don't have my axe right now, so I mean, I'll be punching.
Oh, Yaslin.
It is specifically a weapon attack.
Oh, guess I'm getting my axe out.
Yep. Margot, Dro, you're fine. Yaslin. You see the conversation roll out. Yaslin's head takes like a twitch with a splitting headache. She takes 14 points of psychic damage, and Yaslin, attack Margot with your axe.
God, Yaslin.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my God, Yaslin.
I'm so sorry.
Lisa wasn't a critical because she has brutal crits.
Yeah,
that's
if it
true.
was a critical, you would probably be unconscious.
All right, Margot. Just a big slice down your side.
Holy shit, this is worse than being controlled by my chimera.
Stop hitting me.
I'm sorry.
This is not how you build trust.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. To be fair, Dro hit you too. And you
I
hit
do.
Who started it?
You guys started this. And I don't really want to throw my axe away, so like, I'm stuck.
Oh shit, hold on, let me roll that con save for the Long Strider. Or
Okay.
protection from good and evil. Yep.
Mm-hmm. You're doing okay there.
Oh shit.
Not looking great, guys. You might take me down anyways.
It's okay. The next
Hey.
one, can I use the Bardic on a saving throw?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'll if I do really poorly next time, I'll use it on it.
Seamus, your go. You got a big sneaky in front of you. You two are in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I think I telegraphed what I was gonna do a bit ago. But yeah, the snake bit me, so Seamus is gonna bite back.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That'll definitely hit. Go for it. Okay, 5 points of piercing damage as you bite into like right on the scent receptors on the snake. Oh no, it's turning towards Tierman, so this would be like more on its back.
I also would have. Oh no, I wouldn't be able to do that. Never mind. You can forget about that one. Also, why did that just roll for me? Weird.
Not sure.
Yeah, just ignore that d6. I thought I could use my sneak attack, but I don't have the ability to sneak attack right now. So, but I would heal 5 points also there.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super weird that it's not Seamus rolling, it's Al rolling.
Yeah, Alan, Troy, and Seamus all together in one roll. I think I'm gonna stay here. Yeah, I'll just stay here. That was my turn.
Okay. Dyer's going to call down to the group below as he's looking at the snake. How bad is it down there?
They keep stabbing me. Stay up there.
But I can't help it. To be fair, they've been stabbing each other too.
None of this sounds like a reason to stay away. Sounds like you need help desperately.
No, don't come down here. There's a poisoning magic. Don't come.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that's a good reason as ever to not do that. Okay. How did you? It's gonna come up and target the snake. Go for his staff. If I can remember which one the inventory is in. This is at advantage because Seamus and he are flanking. Yay for advantage. That would have missed otherwise. So that'll be versatile damage coming in. Ooh, for a pretty good roll. -8. Dyer sees the snake's head turn towards Tierman. Comes up and says, "You don't get to play with her today." And just like smacks it right across the mouth and like breaks off one of its teeth, and it like the tooth lands on the ground and just kind of turns into ash in a pile. And then looks back down at him and, "You're not the only one with sharp teeth." And he's going to use his bonus action to do Hungry Jaws. So this will be at advantage. And that'll hit. Alright, so anybody want to describe for me how does Dyer do this?
No way.
It's gotta be the neck. Like
The neck, there you go. Yep, so he knocks out his tooth and the snake turns back around. It's his turn next, so he like lunges and Dyer like drops down to the ground, turns up and like grabs the neck and kind of like grabs onto like all fours like a child hanging on a parent's arm as they're being walked around sloth style. Just like starts ripping and tearing claws and teeth. That his staff kind of clatters to the ground. And the snake just rides and Dyer's riding it and then a big explosion of ash just drops Dyer back down to the ground. And the snake is gone. Seamus, did you taste that too?
I don't think I got as much ash as you did.
Yeah, how is unpleasant? Tierman is up next, and the rope falls to the ground, and she looks around. Let's see, how many spell slots does she have left? Okay. She's gonna call down. Alright, guys! Where are you? We beat a snake!
Just turn to the girls.
Coming!
What?
We're coming!
Coming where? I need specifics! How am I supposed to make a plan without specifics?
But please come down here. It's not safe.
Got it!
Well,
How are you
well,
throwing
well,
it
well.
then? I don't know, I just don't know where to throw it!
Just over
The rope.
over the edge from the hole that broke.
I thought
I
that...
would make another one.
Okay, got it! In the hole! So she throws the rope in the hole that you guys fell down in the first place.
Oh, look, there's a rope, guys.
Over there.
Oh, there.
Closer to the magic.
Did she hold an end of it, or did she throw the whole rope?
No, she threw like the end of it, and like Seamus, as you look over, she's already got it secured to like part of the banister from when she like snagged the snake with it.
Just,
Okay,
hear,
Dro.
just hear Dro. Not there.
That's what I asked!
But I told her we were making another hole. What did she not get about that?
Specifics!
I don't think I can go closer, guys.
No, we don't go closer.
Okay, Dro, it's your turn.
Uh,
You see the creature kind of stalking,
oh, you.
Oh, it's moving towards us?
or it's keeping in a reasonable range. Like as you fall back, it drifts forward. Just using its movement from the end of its turn. Sorry.
Just go straight up where we are. We're 10 feet down, right? Like it's 10 feet up to put another hole.
We have to break through the
Oh, I can't reach that.
floor.
You got a hops to reach 10 feet.
Not,
Come on,
not vertical jump.
Just jump on top of Yaslin and...
Roll an acrobatics check.
Okay. Dirty 20.
With style. You let go of Yaslin and Margot. Turn and run up the curved side of the bottom of the ship. Flip off and land cheerleader style right on Margot's shoulders. Except you have to be ducking a little bit. And you're right there.
Just killed the town on the floor to try to make a hole for us.
Make your attack. Okay, deal some damage.
Oh.
17. Woofs. Woofs. Two big cuts. And you hear Dyer, what? I'm glad I wasn't there anymore. And the wood kind of frosts over Dro. You basically have this giant X mark in the ceiling above you.
Let's take another hit.
Yeah, easy. This one, you just flip it around, pommel up, and just kind of like crash it in, and all that frozen planked
Whoa.
wood just kind of shatters and scoots upward. And you guys have another hole.
Look down at the girls. Time to go! And he's just gonna hop up, but he's going to turn and put his hand down to help them up.
Okay. Yaslin. Actually, consistency's sake, Margot. Strength saving throw, please. And if Droid, Yaslin are focused on climbing, this is by yourself.
Jasmine's still down there. I think Dro's the only one that's up. So
Right.
far.
Yep. So but this is by the end of Dro's turn
Okay,
is
yeah.
when the strength save happens. So yeah, Yaslin has not gone yet. She can do what she wants. So before that happens, Yaslin, are you helping Margot to resist the pull of the vines, or what are you doing?
Yaslin, because Dro's technically on the next floor up, right?
Mhm.
So Yaslin's goal would be to actually get Margot up there first.
Okay. So Margot, you're on your own for your strength save. And then
Okay.
Yaslin is going to use some of her movement to try to toss you upwards. Actually, I'd say
Oh my god!
Doesn't fucking matter!
Guys, I'm trying to stay.
no fucking way.
I am. This is amazing. It's just poetic. It's just so poetic.
What the hell is happening? Never rolled this many 20s.
The shift in the pendulum of fate is strong tonight.
Oh gosh.
That's ironic with
Margot.
the sorcerer.
Margot, once again, and as you're getting further and further from the source, the vines are getting weaker, shorter, less protrusive with their thorns. This time, more like with a scoff of annoyance. You grab a handful of them, yank, and they snap. You feel once again just little bits of this corrupted raw magic slipping into your bloodstream. But little bits. Okay. Yaslin, she's fine. You can toss that ragdoll.
Yeah, you know, Yaslin, like, it's strange
Margot yeets.
because she wants to 100% guarantee Margot is making it up here. She's not fucking around. So she, like, puts all of her strength into it. Technically, on attraction raging, but, like, there's no shifting that happens. It's pure
Sounds good.
Yaslin. It's pure Yaslin that's in this.
Yaslin,
It's just... Oh, yeah.
you tense your muscles and flex and go into the mindset of rage. And it's not that you don't shift.
Oh, God.
You can't.
Oh, shit. That gives, like, she pauses for
It's
a hot second.
gone. You are well
It's all Yaslin
cut off.
Right now.
So this is a pure muscle rage, no animal form at all.
Okay, like, as much as it, like, mentally in the back of her head, like, that's concerning. She's also like, I'm really so fucking thankful right now that I'm not shifting. Because she knows what is in there, and she doesn't want to, like, even try to tap into that.
Okay. Give me an athletics check at advantage because you're raging. Easy.
Yeah.
You scoop for your hands. Margot steps in. Goes up. Dro, give me a quick acrobatics check.
You better catch her, Drow!
The DC is super low right now.
17.
One smooth motion, her hand comes up, Dro grabs it, he stands up. The two of you standing side by side immediately after.
I'm still down here.
You're still down there.
Okay. Do I have the move? Because that was like, what, 20? Half my movement? How much movement was it for me to get?
I'd call that your action.
Okay, so that was my action. Okay, so I do
Mhm.
have that.
Yeah. So what is this? Why I don't know why I can't remember this rule.
How jump? How high can I jump?
Yeah, standing jump. What is it?
Movement, high jump. When you make a
Three
high jump.
plus your strength mod, but it's halved if you're standing.
Okay, so roll. So that's you got 8 feet. Wait, what's your strength mod? 4. Okay, so you've got 7. You've got 7 feet, so that drops down to 3.5. You got a 3-foot vert plus your arm reach plus Dro helping you out. Dro, one more acrobatics check.
Can Margot try to help him, or he doesn't need the help?
Easy.
Not useful here.
Yaslin, you get up as well. The 3 of you are out of the hole. I guess it'd be more like this. Okay.
And then I think just position-wise, do I have any movement to just shift myself a bit?
Yep. So that only took 10 feet of your movement.
Oh, nice, wonderful. Then I'll move myself right here because I grab. Good kid. Okay, guys, we're going this way, right? We're going back to the barrel.
We'll see what the dice say about that.
Margot, you're up. You see down into the hole that you made. It changed something with your friends. You stare deep into that roiling green magic, shifting between turquoise and emerald. And just it kind of pulls, like watching a fire, or something about it that wants to draw you in. And there's something inside of you that wants to be drawn in. Go ahead and give me a charisma saving throw, okay?
I
No.
swear to God,
No.
what the fuck? I love this so
No.
much. Holy shit.
No.
Morgan, what are you rolling tonight?
What is going on?
Not only have I rolled so good, my patron has rolled so bad.
Yeah, your patron is losing
So bad.
control.
Yeah, he's losing control. It's his turn. Last time it was me. Well, that's one.
Oh,
Did we do your con save for the effects of the magic?
No.
Let's go ahead and do that. Also. Because it might change the narrative of what I'm going for.
That's not great.
That does change it. Okay. He knows he's losing it. This is not going in his favor. He, instead of reaching out and trying to grip forward with many things, time to cut his losses. You feel like a strange calm come from him. All of the different areas in your body that have vines coming out of them. And from the center of your chest bursts forth a singular lash. And it reaches out. I'm gonna roll a constitution check on him. -3. Okay, that's still pretty good. Yeah, so I'll give him 15 feet. Oops, excuse me. Did not mean to boo-boo.
I was like, wait, she's moving, I'm grabbing her.
It's like a reverse lightning whip.
Right? The lash from your chest reaches out a little past 15 feet directly down towards the magic. And at the end, it explodes into very minute root system. You see an umbrella of the thinnest, faintest roots. And for a moment, you just see like little green motes that it just plucks and curls. And curls and curls, and like that whole thing just, like each root is just gathering one water droplet and then folding in on itself to hold it gently. And launches back into Margot. And as it does, there is a surge. It's still not a lot. This is an iceberg of magic. And even with this, you went from like a snowflake falling on your tongue while you're near the iceberg to you licked it.
Oh gosh.
As far as quantity goes. But this is still a lot more than you had already. And with that, Margot, you feel the barrier between your blood and your magical circuitry vanish for a moment. And all you can feel is this corruption flowing throughout your body, reaching down into your toes. Dro, Yaslin, everybody else up top, you see her convulse and rock back and forth. Her lavender eyes just blast glowing purple light. And she, like, starfishes convulsively.
I guess.
And passes out.
Okay, we're just holding her then. That's cool. Okay.
Yeah, she's like wiggling and then just
Noodle?
limp noodle fish.
Drop.
The concentrate. Oh, there you go. You beat me to it. And where's our new sleepy sign? Sleepy sleep. There we go. Nighttime. Okay. Oh, Margot, before that all happens, you feel him try to come back, and he rolled a 0. And your brother just, for a moment, it's like a dome in front of you just flashes with a protective barrier just for a moment, like a shield spell, but inside of you. She's not yours to play with today. And then he fades away again. Oh, my guy's turn.
God, I'm unconscious now. This is great.
I'm like, I really don't want
You guys cannot stab me right now. It will be an automatic crit.
Dad.
You're not
You're
you're
just
not
stressed
at
out.
0. You're not in death saves. You're just asleep.
You
True.
still have HP.
Yep.
Yes.
Comes up and looks at you. And you start to hear stop her. She cannot leave with it. My love will not take it.
Huh? What? Love. You've done is attack us. Make us attack each other.
Everybody who's paying attention, roll me an insight check on this guy.
Please, but guess not.
Did he like fly up 10 feet onto this
Yeah,
level?
he just faded through the floorboards.
That's nice.
Every Badar.
I don't know. I guess I'll roll for Tierman. That checks out. That's about what I was. That's what I was feeling from Tierman. She's freaked out as shit. Like, she's not paying attention to this guy at all. Hey, Yaslin, Dro, and Dyer. Everybody make wisdom saves.
What? Okay. Oh God. Oh shit. I mean, what is Dyer's verdict?
Bardic Inspiration,
Is
it's
it like 8?
it's a D8 right now, I believe.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna try to save this. Okay,
Jesus.
Nice.
16.
Okay, Yaslin, you're fine.
Okay.
Okay, you burn the inspiration.
Yeah, that's good because I really don't want to hit him.
Okay,
If
so
you both hit me,
Dro,
that'd be very bad.
Yeah, that would be so bad.
Dro, go ahead and make an attack on Margot at advantage because she is unconscious.
I'm curious, could I use my sentinel to try to stop
Yeah,
her? Not like stop,
Yes.
but cancel out the advantage.
so you can use your sentinel to attack Dro before he makes his attack. And his sentinel
When a
Sentinel
creature
doesn't allow
makes-
you to stop an attack, does it?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
You can just hit the creature after
You
it's
can
made
just
the
hit it.
attack.
Like, I'll just hit him. I'll be like,
You just
"Dro,
slap
come
him.
on."
What are you doing?
I'm gonna punch him. Be like, come on, Dro.
Pull yourself together.
You could use your attack of opportunity here to do something other than a weapon attack if you want. Like another type of attack action. For example, like a push is the
can I
type of
push him?
attack action. Yes.
I push him. I'm like, come on, Dro. Don't make me push you back down this fucking hole.
There's multiple directions you can push Stro. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah, I'll like try to push him like this way, but like I'm kind of, it's kind of 50-50 which way he goes. If he goes that way or that way.
I just
Alright, yeah.
imagine like you trying to push him off and Margot just drops to the floor.
I mean, Yaslin it was like next to you, like holding on.
Does this happen
She's, like-
before or after?
Sentinel gets to go first.
Okay, that's what I thought.
That's the
Okay.
joy of Sentinel, is that it's very quick reactions.
So is it just an unarmed strike if I'm trying to push him away, essentially?
Yes.
Okay. Alright. Don't worry. That's what I figured. Usually when it comes to my sentinel.
Hit me.
Damn it, Dro!
Yeah?
That hits.
Where did my checkers go?
Is she okay?
I have 1 hit point left.
Whoa.
Holy moly!
Holy shit.
I-
1 hit point.
I just like my eyes narrow on Dro just a little bit. Trying to kill her.
Unfortunately, that's not true. I just looked it up again. Melee attacks against unconscious creatures are an automatic critical.
Oh yeah, that's
Margot
true. So.
Margot is unconscious.
You're trying to kill her.
Oh
What's you
boy.
three doing over there?
It's friendly fire! It's really bad! Stay there!
Margot!
Hmm? Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. Should I?
I'd say in this instance, those two are not friendlies, as far as
Yeah.
a certain someone is concerned.
Trying to find it. I can only hit 1 though. Right? I'm trying to find the feature again. Everything's moved on this sheet. I don't know where it went.
I know it's taking me a while to find stuff too.
Oh, there it is.
It's weird that you can't see the damage on your weapons. That just seems like
Yeah.
a real oversight.
Okay,
The information is
so I'll
there
just-
if you like click into the extra menus and stuff, but you gotta really dig to find.
So I'm just gonna make a melee attack. 1 and 2 against Dro, 3 and 4 against Yaslin. Yaslin.
I can't
Melee
believe
attack
you would
against
hit
Yaslin.
me.
You're holding her,
I-
so it makes sense that she
I'm
would be the
holding her
first
to
one to.
make sure she doesn't fall. I can't believe that misses.
No. It misses.
She like moves her arm out of the way. Like, are you serious?
Out of her chest. These are different. These are different from what you guys were just witnessing.
Oh.
Those looked purposeful. These are random wild instincts. Just. Okay. My creature. Just let her die. She will join the ash. Others cannot find it here. Seamus.
seeing what's going on down there at the end of the ship. Definitely getting a little worried. And as a bonus action, I will start to growl a little bit. And I will... the Hound of Ill Omen will rise up out of the ashes next to the creature.
Okay. How many uses do you have of that ability? Because I know you used it once already in the ship.
I can use it as many times as I have sorcery points. I have 3. It takes 3 sorcery points to cast it.
Okay, sounds good.
And then he's gonna make his attack.
All right. Oh, here, I'm gonna take the 10 feet off of everybody because everybody's on the same plane now.
Yeah, he's gonna make a bite attack. He should have advantage because he's within 5 feet of somebody. Although he's within 5 feet of somebody unconscious, so I don't know. It says a wolf has advantage of attack roll if a creature is at least against a creature if at least one of the wolf's allies is within 5 feet of the creature, and the ally isn't incapacitated. So this will be a straight roll.
Yep. I love that animation. Ooh, a 2. Okay, the shadow on shadow action, it reaches out for its jaws and like just snaps air as it deforms that portion of its body and reforms it a little bit somewhere else.
And then I'm going to use my action to throw some nails in the air. And,
All right.
He needs to make a DC 16 saving throw at disadvantage because the wolf is within 5 feet. Sweet.
Nice.
All right, go for that damage.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh!
This is bludgeoning.
That's right.
Okay. Okay. All right. So, several things happening at once. For failed saves, I typically do double damage on a failed save. You guys are getting to the level at which I'm like, okay, I'm seeing where this needs to be restricted at some point. That'd be 62 points of damage. He is immune to physical damage, or he is resistant to physical damage. So it is dropped back down to the 31. However, still a natural 1. So Seamus, throw out the nails and they all hit the deck right below where he is. And I'm gonna call him restrained as you nail him to the deck.
That's tight.
All I see is I'm trying to give him the restrained status. Is that what I am? Okay, whatever. He's restrained. We all know it. Hey. Seamus. Anything else for you?
That's gonna do it. That was a good one.
That was a good one. So. Alright. Looking much more injured now. Dyer is going to kind of get up, dust himself off, grab his staff, and start proceeding forward. He's only got 15 feet of movement left. So he kind of like shifts around this barrel. It's like, wait! Everybody wait!
Seriously?
Yes, seriously.
You don't want us to get the fuck out of here?
Do you think this thing will let us?
So be on a scale.
There's something we don't understand about what's happening here. The way it's been talking, I can read it. Talking about he will sense it, his love. What he's not connected, or he's not talking about us. There's something else here. This may be a chance for some diplomacy. If you guys don't blow up the Blue Dragon!
Marco's dying in our arms.
So wake her. So get her normal. All right. Dyer even have a medicine skill? Yeah, he's proficient. It's not great. Tierman! Help him out! And Dyer's going to look at the creature and say, can we take a moment to just stop? And talk? You clearly don't want us leaving. Maybe if we knew what was going on, we could find a way to make this work. And Dyer is going to use his persuasion.
Oh my gosh.
This is what he's good at. And I'm gonna do a counter just in case. Okay. And the creature kind of looming forward, that kind of like spreading image talk that is happening, kind of I do not wish to kill. But I will if I must.
Oh, there it is.
Is acceptable. And the menacing behavior from this thing dies down. What do you wish to know? And unless you guys aggravate this thing somehow, you are out of combat for the moment.
How's my death saves going out of combat?
Yeah, could somebody get a heal on Margot before we lose her?
The minute Joe gets himself, he's staring at the sword with her blood on it and snaps out of it and lay on hands. All 10. He panics.
I got some too.
And then he just backs away from Margot.
Seven from Tierman as well.
Okay, so now I have another question. You just backed away from me. And Yaslin's still holding on to me?
Oh,
Yep. You wake up like
Hey, Hey,
Oh, was-
Marco, this is a little.
Oh man, I'm forgetting a term here. Like a princess in distress, whatever that term is.
Do I feel in control of myself, or is it still fighting for that power inside of me? Because I'm not that. I'm still in the same place I was.
Give me an insight check. I gotta figure out what's going on with these statuses and figure out how to modify them in the new world.
That's about how I normally roll. Yes. We're back.
We're back. Marco's
That
back.
means we must be out of danger if I'm rolling like this again.
Marco's dice sense that if we are.
Morgan can't try to kill me when I'm on a down streak. It's only when I'm rolling all the 20s.
Mm-hmm. Your luck has a distinct, like, danger and, like, butt pucker sense.
So how am I feeling right now?
Yeah, Marco, you kind of look like shit.
Margot, so as far as, like, checking in on your passenger... An 11? This feels... You get, like, a little bit of disappointment. But kind of smug and content.
We all move a
But-
little further.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
But-
she doesn't know why Dro moved away. Sorry. Go.
Oh, and I was just gonna say, but like, you don't feel activity from it. It's gone dormant.
She doesn't know why Dro moved away. And she's scared to be too close to this thing, so she's gonna start beelining it back towards Dro.
Yeah, we're not running away. Yaslin says to this creature. We're just getting away from whatever that is. And she points behind as she takes a step back as well.
Yeah, she's reaching for, like, Yaslin's and Dro's hands again. She's scared she's gonna lose control.
Dro's just looking at the blood on his sword. He's not gonna pull his hand away, but you would have to, like, reach for it because he's not looking.
No, she's gonna take it. She wants that grounding. Or she's gonna squeeze tight.
He doesn't pull back. He's
Oh.
just
You're muted.
I didn't say anything. I noticed that I was muted for once.
I was like, oh.
Oh, what's up, little puppers?
Oh, look at those
Aww.
eyes. That's a cute puppy face.
Mm-hmm. And Yaslin, your comment, it looks back. It looks forward towards you. Yes.
What?
Mutation.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what it is.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And at this point, it kind of like drifts up through the nails that are pinning it down. And it's just vertical once again. Most of you guys are out of combat. You asked whatever that is.
Yeah, that weird shit that's green.
Yes. Corruption. Mutation. In purity.
did it come to be here?
Looks over at you, and its expression is a little bit harder as it stares at Margot.
Still in front of her, like, very much shield.
You ask the wrong question. Did all of this get here? It was the creep. As I have heard, a few other adventurers refer to it.
The grief?
Creep.
The creep. Okay.
Have I heard that name?
Anybody who's studied the history of Aeon, give me a history check if you
Ugh.
want.
Nope.
Does the history of the Empire count?
It would, because the Empire is so old.
I'm gonna let you decide that, Morgan Woodrow.
Nope.
Evelyn spent her childhood doing more exciting and interesting things than sitting down and reading books.
Dro, yes.
Oof.
Oh
Buddy.
man.
Dire of
Wow.
all the people we needed.
I know.
I
Jeez.
needed your juicy knowledge and... Gosh, guys.
Wow, we suck.
Seamus is from, like, a guild of knowledge. Oh gosh.
Wow.
These
Nobody.
rolls.
Suck.
Nobody gets this one. You don't know it. That term is new to all of you.
Yeah. Unless it's some weird metal book edition, though.
What is the purpose of this magic? Why was it made or contained in... How was it contained?
And why can't we leave now? And who's going to sense us? Who is he?
The purpose was the same as yours. Looking at Margot.
Looks at Margot.
Daggers. Untrusting.
Of course.
There is another in me that hungers for it. So much.
You hunger as well.
She's gonna squeeze both their hands at that.
Those that created this abomination also hungered. We stole it from them. Keep it away.
Who did you steal it from?
From my time, my existence. I only went by the Bane.
The Bane. Okay.
Reap. It was contained. Supposed to be indestructible. But the creep does not respect physics or magics. It broke as we were pulled here.
How do we get out then? And how do we contain it? I saw the magic leaking through on the other side. That's what drew us here. How do we stop that?
You landed here by chance because you did not know what was here. No way to find this if you are looking.
No.
That is why I'm still here.
We just got unlucky. But kind of lucky. But
Are
kind
you
of
saying there's no way out?
Let's. Why would I let you leave?
So she doesn't eat the rest of the power that's here.
What would be the use of having me stay?
I.
You said you did not want to kill me.
So you are not unleashed upon the world.
I will keep her leashed.
You should not make promises to which you do not know the extent of the obligation.
I stay, you'll let them go?
No. No. She's no. No. I'm sorry, Margot. But
You feel a death grip the minute you say that sentence.
yeah, like he hasn't like squeezed the arm. She's like she knows like he's obviously not going to like use up her strength. You can tell she's not like trying to break your hand, but it's very much like no. Margot, don't even suggest that. We jumped in here after you. Do you think we're gonna just jump out without you?
Do you see another way?
I mean, I see a couple ways that this could go, but I mean, all of them don't involve abandoning any of you.
You said that this can't be found by anybody that's looking for it. We've got one of the best PR specialists on the planet here. Wouldn't it make sense for us to go get the word out to everyone that this exists? Because as soon as they start looking, they won't find it. The less people that know about it, the more likely it is to be found.
Now, is this location found simply because you don't have the knowledge that it exists? So it's like once you have the knowledge this place exists, you cannot get in here, sort of deal?
I missed what you said.
Seamus, go ahead and roll a persuasion check. And do that at advantage. Dyer will assist.
Yasmin's not helping at all. She's just confused in this whole situation.
I was gonna say, I think Yasmin just
like,
broke him.
Wait, but it doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense. Make it make.
The first one was a perception check, so I re-rolled it.
Okay. Sounds good. 18. You don't say. Yes. When we crashed, I knew this could never get out. Already, too much has escaped. So... I bade her farewell. Wrapped myself in all my magics. Slowly pans behind him. And I walked in myself, staring at the green glow to his 6. My theory worked. And I became undead. My only job is to weave. So that anyone who seeks this will be turned away. Proposal is interesting. I am concerned. Your strategy is sound for commoners.
Looks back to see how Margot just took being called a peasant. Just
What
as-
Things on her mind.
He looks very confused. But for those of great skill in magic, ways is to best what I have erected. A powerful mage could potentially get through.
Aside from us, how many people have come here?
31.
31?
Yeah.
Since you arrived here?
Yes.
You killed them all?
I did my duty.
Were you part of the crew?
This is a stupid question, but this whole time this has been going on, is he about the size of a Goliath?
A little bit bigger. It's like considered a large creature. He's very voluminous. It doesn't look like very dense.
And then just context based off of Yasna's question of him being on the crew, he said yes.
Mhm.
Bro's gonna stand next to Margot now. Down there. The portrait of the woman. Who
Wait,
is
what?
she? The portrait to the woman. Who is she to you? That's what I thought.
Do you have a name? We've been horrible with asking for people's names.
Just there.
He sits there and thinks. I have a name. Yet I do not know it.
You know what she called you?
No.
Margot's gonna start slowly singing the lullaby that they found in the captain's quarters.
What is that?
She's gonna keep singing and look to the others to answer.
While she does that, Dro's gonna do
Margot, sorry, real quick, give me a performance check.
Oof.
Come on,
Buddy.
Margo. You're a charisma-based character. You can do this
I am.
better than any of us would.
Including Dyer, because he's not a musician.
18.
He's a performer.
Sounds good. There's a quality about this water that carries your voice smoothly. Go ahead, Joe.
I think while that's going on, adding flavor to it with Rose connection to the water. I think you'd see the water begin to shape into a portrait of her as Margot sings that. Do you know what happened to her?
And he reaches forward and he drifts over in front.
The dog.
What did she call you? The woman who sang this song.
One sec. Let me make sure I'm not going to mix this up. Okay, let's try that. Tius.
Halius?
Tius.
Hias.
Tius.
Hias.
He escaped before I entered.
Can you help us to escape as the others? Let us go. Let us spread the word so that none can find this place.
Do you expect a mage not to find it and break my seal?
Yeah, I think maybe it might actually just be better for us to be quiet about the place. I don't know how long they've been here, but considering only 31 people in maybe hundreds or more years, it's not bad record.
Then let us go and keep this place hidden and secret from the world.
You carry the secrets now.
Yeah. And people will have to pry it from our cold dead fingers to get it out.
And they will.
I'm sure they probably will, but
What they want from us than this secret.
What's your long-term plan here? You just plan on hanging out under the water indefinitely until some mage comes along? Because it doesn't sound like a very good plan to me.
This is all I have.
Is there nothing we can leave you with that can help you in your mission?
Do you think she's out there? Could we find her for you?
Yes. She is. She knows the way back. But she is not done yet either. She will not return until she is complete.
maybe. Sorry.
Shantir. That was her name.
Could we find her for you?
For me, no. For her, maybe. Looks over at Dro. I heard you from the shadows. And a very sad, kind of pleading look comes across his face. You know her?
Not personally. You said you heard me. How?
He gestures to around him, and the shadows from every corner of the ship begin to move and solidify into the form of shadows that you've seen throughout. I am this place. I created it. I control it.
Do you only control what's in this domain?
Yes. And what's closely out.
Shot in the dark, and the illusion that's been going will shift into illusion of echo. Have you seen him?
No.
He'll shift back to the woman. I will say, and kind of look to the rest of the group. At the time, we didn't know who she was, but we did cross paths. Ironically, she's the reason we have the name we do today. She's doing well.
It is good. And what of Sirius?
Who?
Was that the name of the child in the photo?
Yeah. He's bigger than his dad, though. But yes, did look like a father-son photo.
We never ran into him, did we? This is out of game. It's just the woman.
I think so.
Is that who the hat belonged to?
did not see him with Shantir.
One with the hats. Sebrio.
Man, do all the names just sound the same to you, or is it just me?
A strong fighter. Not Sibius. He must still live. There's a look that comes across his face that is interesting. Anybody who would like to is welcome to do an insight check.
Scared too.
I'd love to. Because at worst, I fail. At best, I understand. At worst, I fail. I don't
Yeah.
understand.
At worst, I fail too. Jesus Christ.
Just make
I
it
have a
3.
+6. God, we suck.
Bro, something catches. Funny about that statement in general. Seamus, coming from your world, you've seen ambivalence towards a parent talking about their child's death. You've seen numbness. You've seen anger and sadness. But you've never seen sadness that a child lived.
So context, that statement that Dro heard seems off to him. That's it.
What? Can you repeat the question?
So just from what Dro got from that insight, how he said he must still live, that is it just he just got that that seems a little weird.
Yeah, you just got vibes. It's like that. That's off.
I think and then without him actually realizing, I think he'd step forward and loosen his grip on Margot's hand. Does that not make you happy?
Memory of my son brings us pain. Strength, speed, wit, keen leadership. Sibius was everything. But bloodlust is what it grabbed hold of.
Dro's just gonna step back. think unintentionally he would drop the minor illusion as well.
When you say bloodlust, are you talking about some of these piles of ashes?
He made many. The battle always excited him. A little too much. But he kept his cool. Yet we knew it would take him one day. We never imagined it would be so literal.
What did you do?
Did we do? I stayed to protect this. While his mother hunts him down.
And what happens when she finds him?
Someday she'll figure out how to bring him down permanently. And his soul can finally rest.
Margot, you feel a very, very strong grip on your hand. So you would give up on your own flesh and blood?
Death is the only mercy we have left to give him.
Death is not mercy. It's the easy way to solve a problem.
I was just about to roll insight till Margot said that.
Nice. Sometimes death is the only option.
If that's true, then what hope is there for me?
Your mind is intact
You're not crazy.
now.
Can the mind not be healed if the body can?
Yes.
If a soul can be repaired, a mind must be able to be repaired. You just have to know who to ask.
If there is another way, I do not know it. The corruption took him from us. The creep split it open. It consumed him and something out. His bloodlust on a warped body was all that remained. fear he creates more like him. As I witnessed before he fled the ship.
Well, he must be stopped. That does not mean he can't be saved.
Any way you could stop him, or his mother can. Any option is better than what he is.
What is he?
A spread of a beast. The first of his kind. It took a trophy that he had earned. A powerful beast. He wore it around his neck. Great fang. It made him into a worse version of that. His mother as well. But she remains intact. I have no word to categorize him. For he is the first.
Well, we knew where his mother last was. And we may be able to find a way to heal corruption. We cannot do that here.
But hunt him.
Save him.
Naive.
You let us go? Do this thing we must do for your family?
He looks perplexed. Why do you seek power? He looks straight at Margot.
Oh, curious what was to Margot. Also looking at Margot. Curious look.
Make sure those I love cannot be hurt again. And to destroy the people who took my brother from me. Cannot do that as I am. I am not strong enough.
Revenge, then.
Yes.
Margot, roll a persuasion check.
That's not great.
Revenge would put this back. Into hate. It would take hold and suck you dry as it did my son.
He squeezes their hands tighter.
Gives a reassuring squeeze back.
Looking at Margot. Are you sure it's actually revenge? Aren't you the one that said it was justice?
There's a pretty thin line between justice and revenge if it's for somebody who...
I'll look back over at him. Someone took your family or your loved one from you. No way to honor them, wouldn't you want to get their justice? He's squeezing Margot's hand.
Justice is a folly. Right and wrong exist. But it is not up to a body to decide what is. It is up to good people who push against it every day. You to kill my son.
Okay.
I'll do it.
I do do not trust this one.
Which one?
I think he means me.
You? I mean,
Gestures widely at the group.
gesture vaguely in the direction.
You just gestured to all of me.
Okay, well,
If she cannot control it, if she cannot,
then we'll be there. Like I said.
if she cannot control it, she will feed the world to her roots.
Well, I don't think Margot's like trying to kill the world.
If I can't
Neither
control
is
it,
my son.
he's right, though. If I cannot control it. If you lose me and I lose control, you have to destroy me completely.
Well, the same shit could be said about me, Margot, but look where we stand. You're here. And I don't think it's in control right now.
If we can't save his son, then you can't save me in the end.
Maybe not. But I don't really want to die on this ship. And I'd be a really poor friend if I let you die on this ship too.
What assurances would I have? To release a beast upon the world to hunt a beast.
Well, what assurances can we give you? If you don't trust her, which one of us do you trust?
Everybody making an individual persuasion check.
Oh my goodness.
Except for Margot.
gracious. Ah, crap!
You wanna see my +0 persuasion?
Not bad. That's not great. Oh, that wanted to be a natural 20 so bad! Oh!
Joe's just staring him down right now.
Margot's squeezing his hand. Clinging to both of them.
Gosh. It's my persuasion. That will be great.
Looks at Yasmin. What do you carry?
A lot of things.
You know of what I speak. It changed. what it is.
Well, the best way I could describe it is that it's a part of me. And I myself don't know what's happened, which kind of scares me. The creature that you probably sense is a chimera.
Is it now? Is it powerful enough? Kill her. And snuff out that heart.
Yes, it already took some of my magic. It is powerful enough.
If I let it, yeah.
I would trust your beast over hers. If only for the fact that if you cannot contain hers, my son will sense it, and you will meet him.
Okay. Thank you for the heads up.
Slender. That is what they call you, yes.
It is.
He's got ears or something. I mean, you guys have said each other's names.
I mean, they probably have yelled my name a couple of times as I've done various things in here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Miss me, Yasmin.
Artie, could you repeat that?
A promise.
Ah.
Your freedom. For her. If she cannot contain it. Sometimes death is the only way. Your words, not mine.
He looks this shadow creature vaguely in where she thinks its eyes probably are.
The eyes are fairly identifiable, especially because,
Okay.
as I mentioned before, it has kind of a lightened pattern around what would be its eye sockets to mimic glasses. You guys saw in the picture that Sibius or Tyus wore glasses.
You have my word that if she loses control and she becomes a threat to this very world's existence, I'll do what has to be done. My people know very well what making tough decisions is.
Go ahead and roll another persuasion check.
I really feel great rolling a persuasion with 0 charisma. That's a 7.
Acceptable.
I'm glad. I'm not great at this whole talking thing.
People make me nervous. Oh. You'll find no more tricks on the ship.
So how did we get out of this spot exactly? Because we went through a barrel.
Eamon kind of pipes up. He's like, if there's no more tricks, I'm standing in front of stairs.
Oh! A staircase! Oh,
That was a lot.
that's wonderful. Before we go, I guess, since you are technically the owner of this ship as well, are you okay with us taking some supplies so we can get off on our ship?
Yes, please. My baby's hurt. Take what you need. It helps to find an end. Sibius. Take it all.
Okay.
Do you want us to spread the word of the creep then, or should we keep that secret?
Agent Benny know what the creep is. This is not it. I think tell them enough to make them interested, but not enough to warrant resources. best. Of course.
Question for you. Point to his forehead. Any advice? He has not stopped staring at this guy this entire conversation.
I have learned much about this corruption. In my centuries as its guardian. It takes what is already there and mutates it. It can be wielded well, like my wife. Or it can wield you, like my son. Observe your own nature without lying to yourself. That is the best advice I have to offer.
Bro just puts his hood up. He would start to back up. Believe.
And he lets you. He fades back into the magical miasma. The last thing you hear is a promise.
Do you have my word?
Margot's still clinging to both of you.
And that is where we will end our episode tonight.